Please join me in welcoming Addie Stuever and Caitlin Garlinger to the lectern for a special introduction.
I started writing this intro a year ago. Actually, my notes app tells me that it was exactly 10:23 a.m. on Friday, March 1st last year. I began writing as I watched Dori walk into room 138 Acres Hall to address the delegates from Region 4. I was mostly trying to distract myself. It's a unique feeling of powerlessness as a big sister to know that I couldn't help her with this, not at all. No tucking in her tallywhacker, no warm smiles from the back of the room, no holding her note cards for her in my pocket just in case. Just a closed door with my baby sister on the other side of it, pouring her heart out to a room full of people in corduroy jackets. Of course, she didn't need my help anyway. Immediately upon exiting that room in Acres, Dori turned her attention to her fellow candidates. She offered comforting hugs and encouraging smiles and words. That's the kind of person that Dori is. She is unfalteringly present for her people. Dori invites her teammates to spend countless nights in her small dorm room. She's always willing to drive a friend to the grocery store or the pharmacy. She borrows my oven to bake special birthday treats that meet her friends' dietary requirements. And she consistently teaches me how to be a better big sister to our two younger brothers with special needs. In my line of work, we call people like Dori, or we say that they have a ministry of presence. There are few people in this world who are so uniquely skilled at identifying those little opportunities for togetherness, and who are so fiercely committed to maintaining connection regardless of what's happening in life. Dori is one of those people. I can only hope that each of you has someone like that in your life, because Dori has kept my world from falling off its axis more times than she probably realizes. 4 years ago, Dori introduced me for my RA. Although she did so from her bedroom through her iPhone camera for our COVID convention. There are many things that Dori and I share in common, and a year ago, we added to that list experiencing heart palpitations from hearing the Chicago Bulls theme song. Some of you get it. Then, there are the things that we both learned from our mom and our Stuever aunts and uncles, like our existential need to add cheese to every meal, or a propensity for sarcastic comebacks, and even a legacy of Michigan FFA state officers in the family. But Dori's unending commitment to making sure that everyone in her life knows they are loved, that is all Dori. So Michigan FFA, it is my genuine honor to introduce to you your 2024-2025 Region 4 State Vice President, Dori Stuever.
Hi everybody, I'm Caitlin Garlinger, and I'm so blessed to be able to call Logan Bowers my best friend. He has been my mentor through just about everything. He is good at everything he does, and the dedication he puts into the things he loves is something not many people are blessed with. Logan has a heart full of love and the need to help others and teach. He puts others before himself no matter the situation, and I will always thank him for that. Logan has come so far from when I first met him in 8th grade. At this time, he was an FFA, trying to make me join. I really didn't want to, until I finally caved in. From that one FFA meeting, I fell in love with it. And that's when he became one of my go-to people. He has accomplished more things than some people do in a lifetime, and I'm beyond proud of everything he has succeeded in. Logan has been a part of almost anything you can think of: FFA, NHS, student council, school rep, and so much more. If you know Logan, you know how much of a busybody he is, and the fact he can manage everything and still have time to help others is one of the most amazing things about him. Logan is by far one of the most talented people I have ever met. It is my honor to introduce your 2024-2025 Michigan FFA Region 1 State Vice President, Logan Bowers, for his retiring address.
Logan, can you stay after school for a student council meeting today?
Of course.
Dori, you should wear your hair straight more often.
Okay.
Logan, make sure you get your paperwork turned in by the end of the day.
Okay, will do.
Dori, you need to smile more.
Got it.
Logan, can you just be available anytime we call or text you day or night, no matter what?
Yeah, I guess.
Dori, can you let us pick out your outfit and hairstyle every morning to make sure you look good enough for everyone?
I guess so. As I hear the words, Class of 2024, and I throw my cap to the sky, memories flash through my head like lightning. I began to reflect on my high school experience. What decisions did I make that led me to where I am now? Thinking back to all the hours I drove from school to work to practice to see my friends, just to prove to people that I could do it all. Picturing all the mornings spent in front of the mirror, straightening my hair, not because I liked it, but because that's how other people told me that they liked my hair best. Altering myself to fit their visions. Thinking about every time I had so much to say, but I held my tongue because I didn't want to make anyone upset with me. As my head plays a short film of my life, I start to see a pattern. Like the wind on a cold winter day, the chilly feeling of an epiphany blows right over me. I spent my whole life trying to be someone that I was not. Trying to be someone that I thought I should be. Trying to fit into the image created for me by those around me. I lived a life that others wanted me to live, a life centered around what I needed to be for others. But why did I feel responsibility to shape myself for others? I thought back to one night of my senior year. Even though I was exhausted after school and work, I headed to swim practice because I didn't want to disappoint my coaches. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't push away my negative thoughts. One arm after another, I swim through the cold, chlorinated water, staying focused on the line at the bottom of the pool, keeping a steady pace. I start to think. I think about how many hours of studying I have ahead of me for the upcoming exam. Will my teacher be proud of how hard I'm working? I think about how I wore jeans to school, even though I wanted to wear sweatpants. Did other girls like my outfit? I think about the joke I made that no one laughed at that day. Should I just be quiet? Think about how I told my friends I couldn't hang out because I had to work. Are they upset with me? I started drowning in my own thoughts. That night, I went to the locker room early. My best friend followed me, and she told me to wait in my car until practice was over so she could talk to me. Although I left the pool, my eyes never dried. As I sat there waiting for her, I felt my heart pound and my hands start to shake. She got into my car, and while fighting through tears, I tell her everything. She held me, and she said, "Dori, you need to stop worrying about what everyone else thinks and start telling them what you think." After we said goodbye, I started my hour drive home. That night, I drove home in silence. All I could think about was what she said to me. I saw that she was right. It was time for me to prioritize myself and my needs. That was just one of many moments when I felt like I was crumbling under the weight of what others' expectations for me were. It's hard to recall a time that someone was angry with me, a time that I didn't meet an expectation, or a time that I didn't say yes. But it's easy to recall times when I was burnt out, times when I worried about people liking me, and times when I lost touch with myself. I focused so much on being who others wanted me to be that I lost the person I wanted to be. When we shape ourselves to be who others want us to be, we start neglecting our needs. An article from Greater Good magazine states, when we try to please others, we're usually out of sync with our own wants and needs. It's not that it's bad to be thinking of others, it's that pleasing others is not the same as helping others. For years, I have been trying to please others under the guise of helping others, but I've come to realize that these are very, very different from each other. When we please others, we're focusing on them and not us as a partnership. Helping others is when we focus on the goals of the collective and we collaborate to achieve those goals. When we please others, we put their wants before anything else. We say yes to everything we're asked to do, leaving us with little time to accomplish our own goals, finding ourselves overwhelmed at the thought of pleasing others to the point where we aren't pleased with ourselves. We spend so much of our energy trying to be liked by others that we don't have the energy to be someone we like ourselves. We must learn how to say no to unrealistic expectations put upon us and recognize that we don't need to shape ourselves for others. When we prioritize our needs, we can become the best versions of ourselves. We become our best selves by taking time to get in tune with what we truly want, not what we think others want for us. We need to accept that we can't make every single person happy and that it's okay to put our goals first. It's time to recognize our humanity and the fact that no one is or ever will be perfect. When our body and mind are at peace, we can be our best selves and excel in our lives, relationships, and responsibilities.
Like clockwork, every day at 5 a.m., I woke up and got ready by combing my hair until it was just right. I ate breakfast and then brushed my teeth and packed my bags. At 6 a.m., I jumped in my truck and drove right down the road where I often found myself during all of high school, at Maple Valley Junior-Senior High. Starting my day at the school, I worked on some tasks in the office and then led an NHS meeting at 6:45 where we discussed upcoming events and plans. I then headed to the ag room to get updates on National Convention and ran to the store to get food for that night's FFA meeting. Once the school day started at 7:55, I jumped on the intercom to lead the Pledge of Allegiance before heading to the office to talk to my principal about our upcoming fall homecoming. Throughout the rest of the day, I attended my classes and worked on tasks for homecoming, such as finalizing our parade, sending dozens of emails, and coordinating with staff. Once the school day was over at 2:55 p.m., I set up for a volleyball game in our gym, and then set up for our FFA meeting in the library. From 5 p.m. to 5:45 p.m., I ran the scoreboard and took pictures for the volleyball game, and went straight to our FFA meeting. Once the FFA meeting was over, I attended a school board meeting, which started at 7 p.m., where I wrapped up my day and got home around 9 p.m. On my way home, I reflected on a conversation I had with our athletic director, Mr. Wilkes. During the volleyball game, I asked him a simple question, and when I didn't get the response I wanted, all of my stress from the day boiled, and I blew up. I was overwhelmed with having such a long day that I took my anger out on someone else. Throughout high school, I constantly felt that I had no time for myself. But the thing is, I liked doing all of these things because they gave me something to do and a sense of belonging. And I wanted our school and community to thrive. With an inability to say no, I was constantly overcommitting myself to way too many activities and long days. My peers and school staff started treating me like a staff member because I was literally doing the role of one. I was basically working a full-time job as a student in high school. When senior year rolled around, these issues didn't disappear. First semester was smooth sailing. I was having a lot of fun with my classmates, but once winter break hit, I became overwhelmed with planning events, scheduling meetings, and much more. I was running from event to event, and before I knew it, I'd left no time for myself. Your senior year of high school is supposed to be filled with fun activities and events, but I simply had no time for them. Because of everything, I missed my senior trip, didn't have a lot of fun at prom, and I worked my last homecoming. All because I overcommitted myself. This is when I truly realized I needed to start saying no more. When we overcommit ourselves to pleasing others, we often say yes to too many responsibilities and long days. This can leave us feeling burnt out, exhausted, and overwhelmed. Eventually, we hit our breaking points and begin to neglect our own needs, all to meet the expectations of those around us. Unfortunately, when we fail to ask for help or set daily limits, the pressure only builds, further depleting our energy and well-being. One way to combat this is by setting boundaries. Boundaries allow us to manage our responsibilities while protecting our mental and emotional health. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, students involved in too many extracurricular activities are more likely to experience mental health challenges. This serves as a reminder that balance is essential. I often lean on the wisdom of the legendary Dolly Parton, who once said, "Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life."
The human mind makes 35,000 decisions every day. So make one decision every day to put yourself first. Decide to step back from relationships that are draining. Decide that you deserve to be treated with respect and understanding. Decide to speak up for yourself. Decide to choose yourself. When we're making these decisions, we're prioritizing ourselves. We have the freedom to be who we want to be and to live the lives that we want to. We can build up ourselves and our lives by dedicating time every week to doing something that makes us more in tune with ourselves.
As FFA members, we have the power to take control of our schedules and protect our well-being, even while staying involved in the things we're passionate about. I challenge you to reflect on your commitments and identify areas where you can set boundaries. Next week, I want each of you to evaluate your workload by asking yourself, am I leaving enough time for myself?
When we do something for us, we can be more in tune with ourselves. Let's all take a moment and think about 3 things we can do that make us feel like us. These can be hobbies, activities, or really anything we can imagine. Now let's pull out our phones and text ourselves these 3 things. When we leave the Wharton Center today, we'll set aside an amount of time next week that we can dedicate to doing one of these things for us.
If we're ever feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to ask for help. Lean on your team and your family for support. Let's all take a moment right now to use our phones and write down 3 people in our notes app that we can lean on for support. Lastly, take a moment to share your goals and boundaries with them so they can better understand and support you. Sometimes I still find myself drowning in responsibilities.
Sometimes I still worry if I'm making people proud.
This is not something that we can just snap our fingers and make happen. We must wake up every day and decide to put ourselves at the top of our priorities.
When we're able to set boundaries with others and not overcommit, we can prioritize our mental and emotional health.
By making one decision to put ourselves first, we can find the best versions of who we are. Michigan FFA, prioritize yourself.
And if the wood don't break, I'll be shaking it. 'Cause I'm a young man after all. And when the seasons change, will you stand by me? 'Cause I'm a young man built to fall.
Logan, every moment spent with you is full of joy and laughter. Thank you for being your organized, sassy self. Our team wouldn't be the same without you. Michigan FFA, our Region 1 State Vice President, Logan Bowers.
My disaster, it's heavy on my tongue. All the lights aglow, Tokyo snow.
Dori. From Panda Express runs to Meyer trips fueled by caffeine, you are always open to an adventure. You are kind, sweet, patient, and have a heart of gold. You are truly the glue that holds this team together. Michigan FFA, our Region 4 State Vice President, Dori Stuever.